Most people think sperm survive only a few minutes once they enter the female body. A brief moment, and then they're gone. But the truth is far more surprising and far more dramatic. Inside the cervix lies an environment unlike anywhere else in the human body. A hidden chamber, a biochemical filter, a living maze engineered to decide which sperm survive and which disappear within minutes. Some sperm die almost instantly, others last days, and a tiny fraction endure long enough to meet the egg. Not because they're stronger, but because the cervix itself chooses who gets to stay alive. The cervix is not a passive doorway, it's an intelligent gatekeeper. During the fertile window, cervical mucus transforms into a protective, nourishing fluid that shelters sperm from acid, immune cells, dehydration, and temperature shifts. In this window, sperm can survive up to 3 to 5 days, waiting patiently like microscopic travellers lodged in safe houses. Outside this window, the same mucus becomes thick, hostile, impenetrable, a biochemical wall that kills sperm in minutes. It's not just survival, it's selection. Why does the cervix behave like this? How does it decide when to protect and when to destroy? And how does sperm manage to remain alive inside such a dynamic, guarded environment for days at a time? To uncover the truth, we need to travel into the cervix itself, into the mucus channels, crypts, and molecular traps that determine the fate of millions of sperm. Let's go inside. To understand how long sperm stay alive inside the cervix, we need to step into a part of the female reproductive system that behaves less like a hallway and more like a living ecosystem. The cervix is often imagined as a simple doorway between the vagina and uterus. But biologically, it's a dynamic, shape-shifting gatekeeper, one that changes personality depending on where a woman is in her cycle. Most of the month, the cervix is closed for business. The mucus it produces is thick, sticky, tangled with protein networks that trap sperm almost instantly. In this state, sperm typically survive only minutes, struggling against a biochemical web designed specifically to block them. The vaginal environment, naturally acidic and full of immune defences, only accelerates their decline. But during the fertile window, something remarkable happens. Guided by rising estrogen levels, cervical glands begin secreting a totally different type of mucus. Clear, slippery, alkaline, and full of microscopic channels perfectly aligned to help sperm swim upward. This fertile mucus, often called peak type or egg white mucus, creates a safe harbour inside the cervix. And within this environment, sperm don't just survive, they thrive. The cervical crypts, tiny pockets lining the cervical canal, act like micro-shelters. Here, sperm can hide from vaginal acidity, avoid hostile immune cells, absorb nutrients from the mucus, maintain their energy stores, be slowly released into the uterus over time. In this protected environment, sperm can survive 3 to 5 days, and in rare optimal conditions, even slightly longer. That's why intercourse several days before ovulation can still result in pregnancy. The cervix literally holds sperm in reserve, releasing them gradually until an egg becomes available. But this is only the beginning. To understand why some sperm last hours while others last days, and how the cervix decides which ones get to stay alive, we need to look deeper into the mucus's microscopic structure, chemical shifts, and selective filters. The real story of survival unfolds there. To understand why sperm can survive for days inside the cervix, but only minutes outside it, we need to zoom into the microscopic architecture of cervical mucus. Because cervical mucus isn't just fluid, it's an intelligent, reactive material that shifts its structure molecule by molecule depending on hormone signals. The mucus transforms into a survival matrix. During the fertile window, estrogen causes the mucus to reorganize into long parallel channels built from glycoproteins called mucins. Under a microscope, these channels look like smooth, straight tunnels, perfectly aligned, low-resistance pathways guiding sperm upward. In this state, the mucus protects sperm from acidic pH, shields them from immune cells, stabilizes their membranes, provides sugars and electrolytes for energy, prevents DNA damage. It is, quite literally, a biochemical incubator. 2. The cervical crypts, nature's safe houses. Deep in the cervical walls are tiny pockets called crypts. These act as reservoirs where sperm can settle, slow down, and conserve energy. Inside the crypts, sperm switch to low metabolism mode. Motility decreases to preserve ATP. The mucus nourishes and filters them. Only the healthiest sperm manage to remain. This is one of the most selective phases of reproduction. Millions enter the cervix, but only a fraction are chosen to stay alive. 3. Immune modulation, a temporary truce. Normally, the cervix is rich in immune cells, ready to destroy pathogens. But during the fertile window, estrogen signals the immune system to stand down. Fewer neutrophils migrate into the mucus. Antibody activity decreases. Inflammatory molecules drop. For a short window each month, the cervix becomes immunologically permissive. Outside this window, the immunity resets instantly, killing sperm within minutes. 4. Why some sperm die quickly and others last days. It depends on their ability to navigate mucus channels, their resistance to oxidative stress, their membrane health, their compatibility with mucus chemistry, their ability to enter and remain in cervical crypts. Sperm that remain outside the crypts perish quickly. Those that enter can live 72 to 120 hours, waiting for ovulation. 5. A timed release system. The cervix doesn't just store sperm. It releases them gradually into the uterus, giving multiple waves of sperm a chance to meet the egg. It's not a race, it's a relay. This is the moment where the cervix stops behaving like a simple passageway and reveals its true identity. A strategic biological gatekeeper that decides which sperm will continue the journey and which will never make it beyond this point. Because once sperm enter the fertile cervix, survival is only the first challenge. The real battle is selection. 1. The cervix begins the sorting process. As sperm swim upward, the mucus channels narrow and twist. These channels aren't uniform, they form filters. Sperm with abnormal shapes, weak motility, or damaged DNA get trapped or slowed until they lose viability. Only the strongest swimmers can push through. Only the structurally healthy survive the narrowing passages. What looks like random survival is actually the cervix performing the first round of quality control. 2. The mucus changes hour by hour. As ovulation approaches, estrogen peaks and the mucus becomes more permissive. Channels widen. Viscosity drops. Electrolytes shift to support motility. Mucin networks loosen. This is the cervix actively preparing for conception. But once ovulation passes, progesterone rises, and in a matter of hours, the mucus transforms again. thick, sticky, impenetrable. At that point, even healthy sperm trapped in the cervix will begin to die, unable to move forward or maintain their energy reserves. 3. The cervix controls the timing of release. Perhaps the most elegant function of the cervix is not just storing sperm, but timing their release. The crypts slowly push sperm back into the mucus stream in waves, not all at once, but strategically. Some released before ovulation, some during, some just after. This gives sperm multiple chances to reach the fallopian tube, increasing the probability of fertilization, even if intercourse happened days earlier. 4. The moment of decision. Once the hormonal environment shifts out of the fertile window, the cervix closes its gates. Mucus becomes hostile again. Immune cells reactivate. Stored sperm rapidly lose viability. And just like that, the chance for conception ends. The cervix isn't just a container, it's a biological strategist, controlling survival, filtering quality, and synchronizing timing with the ovary. But the deeper meaning of this microscopic survival story, the evolutionary logic behind why the cervix became such an active participant, reveals itself only in the final reflection. When you look closely at the cervix, not as a structure but as a strategist, the story of how long sperm stay alive becomes something far more profound than a survival timeline. It becomes a story about timing, selection, and the extraordinary cooperation between two reproductive systems that have never met, yet must work together perfectly. The cervix is often overlooked, overshadowed by the uterus and fallopian tubes. But in truth, it is the first intelligent sperm encounter, a sensor, a curator, a protector, a gatekeeper. And the way it treats sperm reveals evolution's priorities. Sperm are plentiful, energetic, determined, yet fragile. Most die in minutes. But the cervix doesn't let randomness decide their fate. It chooses. Only when the hormonal environment signals fertile does the cervix open its microshelters, those crypts where sperm can survive for 3 to 5 days. Only when the body is ready does it reshape its mucus into perfect channels for guidance. Only under the right conditions does it silence the immune system long enough for sperm to rest, recover, and wait. This isn't just survival, it's strategy. It's the female reproductive system aligning itself with the possibility of conception. Not constantly, not indiscriminately, but with remarkable precision. And it's a reminder that timing is everything. Fertilization isn't a race of speed, it's a choreography of patience. Sperm linger in the cervix not because they are strong enough to endure days on their own, but because the cervix chooses to help them endure. Every human life that exists today began with this cooperation, a quiet alliance between sperm searching upward and a cervix holding them safely in place until the exact moment the egg was ready. In the end, the story of sperm survival is not just a biological fact. It's a testament to how life depends on microscopic partnerships, perfect timing, and the hidden wisdom of the body.